humility, forgiveness. A Vaishnava, there is no limit to a Vaishnava's forgiveness. There's nothing a person can do to us that we cannot forgive them for. That is a Vaishnava. No grudges, no vengeance. This is materialistic consciousness. Haridas Thakur, Nityananda Prabhu, Srila Prabhupada, all of these people, Narottam Das Thakur, even the worst offenses. Jesus Christ was crucified. Almost his last breath, he was just forgiving them, praying to God to forgive them. Prabhupada said that is Vaishnava. And always interested in uplifting others in a spirit of service. The Vaishnava quality is we're never enjoyer, we're always servant. And we adhere very purely to the instructions of Guru Sadhu Shastra. Not only physically, but also internally. What is that internal adherence? That we're performing the physical acts and the verbal acts for the purpose of pleasing Guru and pleasing Krishna, because it is ultimately our attitude that pleases Krishna. It is ultimately our attitude that attracts mercy. We could chant the holy names, and we could make it look to everyone that we're chanting very sincerely, but our advancement is not going to come by how other people see us. Our advancement comes how Krishna sees us within our heart. And Krishna sees how genuine we are trying. What is our motivation? What is our aspiration? And what is the sincerity of our endeavor? Because this world, people propagate so much this show bottle egotism. And we're so deeply conditioned by these anarthas. Sometimes we carry them into our spiritual lives as well. And that's very dangerous. Because we may practice Krishna consciousness for 1,000 births without knowing Krishna, unless we do it internally proper. That is substance. We have to have genuine intention to purify our heart. Genuine intention to please Guru and Krishna. And that genuine intention means that we perform the right activities in the right way with the right intention. That is Vaishnava. And if we have this type of sincerity, then naturally the Vaishnava community is totally united. The only reason for disunity amongst Vaishnavas is generally we have our own agendas. We're still thinking in terms of I and mine. And as we were saying, if you put the stone in the pond with the same center, then all the circles that come from that stone will be in harmony. But if there are different centers, all the circles will collide. So there's basically two types of centers. There's self-centeredness and there's God-centeredness. Self-centeredness means what's in it for me. And God-centered it means what's in it for Krishna. When we have a common center, there's unity, there's love. But as soon as we take God out of the center, immediately we're in the center. There's no in between. It's either Krishna or me. Me is extended. Could be I or mine, my nation. Conflict between different people who have different nations. But when God is in the center, the whole universe is His. We're all brothers. We're all sisters. Krishna told the Prachetas, I have come to give you my darshan and to give you all benedictions of the perfection of life because of the friendly relationships that you have with one another in my service. You cannot have such friendly relationships unless Krishna is really in the center, unless a substance. So although we have many activities that are very dynamic, we want to study the scriptures, we want to preach, we want to cook, we want to worship the deities, we want to do our studies for Krishna. These are all very, very important. But we must be always aware we are cultivating the proper substance of Vaishnava attitude. Because without that, Lord Chaitanya will not be pleased with whatever we do.
You were listening to Radhanath Swami on devotionalnectar.com.